Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I'm going to be doing the birth year book tag, and I was tagged for this by Mindy over at Mindy's, oh my gosh, I'm about to forget her thing. Mindy's Book Journey. Mindy, I apologize for that. I'm sorry. Anyway, I was tagged by Mindy over at Mindy's Book Journey, and I was already planning on doing this anyway. I've seen it done all over the internet, or all over BookTube or whatever. So, yeah, I thought, you know what, I want to do this, but to be tagged by Mindy, that makes it even more special, all right? Because Mindy's cool, all right? Anyway, so the birth year book tag, and I guess you could also call it the birth year book and movie tag also, because it does have some prompts for movies. Anyway, but there are only five, yes, I believe five things, and then you can tag whoever you want to tag. Alright, so, and I've just got it right here. I got my list right here from Mindy's thing. She was nice enough to copy and paste them, or, you know, do whatever with them. Anyway, so the first one is, have you read any books published in the year you were born? Yes, I have. I haven't read many, but I have read, and it says, if so, what's your favorite and why? I don't know if this was a favorite. Like I said, I haven't read a lot of books that were actually published in the year I was born, which I guess I should go ahead and say the year I was born was 1962. All right? I was born March 4th, 1962, which means I've got a birthday coming up. Write that down. Anyway, the main book that I read that was published in 1962 is Something Wicked This Way Comes. In fact, I think out of all of them, that when I was looking on the list for books in 1962, this is the only one I actually found that I actually read from 1962. Is it a favorite? No, not really. I liked it, you know, and I know it's considered to be a classic, but I hate to say, and I probably gave this a good review at one point, but it kind of, to me, parts of it just kind of dragged. Okay? I mean, I respect the fact that it's considered a classic and everything, and Bradbury was an awesome writer. I love the guy. Most of the time, I love the guy's work. A Sound of Thunder is one of my favorite stories. But, you know, I mean, I didn't have much to choose from. Okay? So, yeah, I mean, not necessarily a favorite. And it says, do you have any other favorites? And no, because like I said, I haven't read that many books published in 1962. So, there you go for the first question. Let's see. Okay, if it says, okay, here we go. If it says, if you haven't read any birth year books, which one do you pledge to read in the next 6 months, and why have you chosen it? Now, I didn't see the part about not having read any, but for in the next 6 months, I would like to read The Case Against Satan. Okay? I'm going to read a little bit about this synopsis here for you. Teenager Susan Garth was a clean-talking, sweet little girl before she started acting strangely, started acting weird or whatever. A sudden aversion to churches, a newfound fondness for vulgarity. But, truth be known, she's a teenager. Teenagers cuss. I don't care what anybody says, teenagers cuss. I asked my step-granddaughter one day, because she was like, at the time I asked her, she was like 14, maybe 15 years old. And I asked her, I said, do your friends cuss? And she just didn't even skip a beat. She said, all the time. You know, so anyway. Then one night she strips in front of the parish priest and sinks her nails into his throat. Yeah, that could possibly be demonic possession or something. Anyway, to vanquish the devil, Bishop Cummings recruits a younger priest with a taste for modern ideas and brandy. As the two men fight the darkness tormenting Susan, their struggle turns them against each other, and so on in their battle against a very dark evil, and that is the case against Satan. Okay? Alright, so that was my one that I would like to read in the next 6 months. It was published in 1962. It is by Ray Russell, if I didn't mention that already. So, question number 2. Have you read any books published in the year you turned 18? Yes, I have. My favorite, it says, if so, what's your favorite and why? My favorite is Off Season by Jack Ketchum. this book is awesome. If you want a gory cannibal, backwoods cannibal, redneck, whatever you want to call it, horror novel, this is to me the granddaddy of all of them, all right? You know, I mean, if that's what you're into, if you're into movies like Wrong Turn, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I'm trying to think of some other books movies just before dawn, things like that, this is the book for you. It's basically about a group of folks. A beautiful New York editor retreats to a lonely cabin on a hill in the quiet Maine beach town of Dead River, off-season, awaiting her sister and her friends. And there is a savage human family with a taste for human flesh out in those woods. So you can kind of imagine it's like, you know, it's like a cooking show. It's like, okay, you mix the campers, and right here you got the editor and the sister and all that, okay, and you put them in the woods, okay, and you let them marinate and stew just a little bit, and then you introduce into the mix, you introduce the cannibal family, all right? So then all hell pretty much breaks loose. And I think I just broke into from a horrible British accent to a very bad Australian accent. I apologize to both countries. So anyway, yes, Off Season, Jack Ketchum, 1980. Okay. Number 3 of the last 10 books you read, how many were published before you were born? I can tell you that right now. We're going to just move on to number 4 because none were published before I was born. All right. Number 4, what's your favorite movie from your birth year and why? I picked Carnival of Souls. And why did I pick Carnival of Souls? I picked it because it is just a bizarre horror movie, okay? It's about this woman that, I can't remember, she's traveling in a small Kansas town. She survives a drag race accident, and then she takes a job as a church organist in Salt Lake City. She's on her way, and she keeps getting haunted by these bizarre apparitions and these bizarre people, these kind of pasty, ghostly-looking people. So it's kind of one of those things. It's like, did she really survive that car accident or not? All right, it's just one of those kind of weird things that, you know, the whole thing about, you know, she was dead all along sort of thing. I don't want to give away spoilers, just like was she or wasn't she? So if you haven't seen the movie, I hope I'm trying not to spoil too much. Funny thing about this movie is I did a review of this movie on my old written blog called Written in Blood years ago, and I kept getting these threatening, kind of threatening comments and notes from this woman who claimed to be the daughter of the woman that starred in the movie, Candace Hilligloss, okay? And she was just jumping down my throat about using her mother's likeness and everything. And I believe, as far as I remember, this movie is actually in the public domain, okay? But yeah, she just kept on and on about it. It's like, God, lady, give me a break. She finally stopped, but it's like, oh my God, good grief. Anyway, that was it. Carnival of Souls, okay? Last but not least, what's your favorite movie from the year you turned 18 and why? Oh boy, this is one of those things, another one of those things where a lot of the movies that were made in 1980, I just kind of didn't see them for some reason. If you told me 1981 or 1982, then I would have answers for you. But I do have an answer for this one. So 1981, and that would be The Changeling. All right, this stars George C. Scott, Trish Van Devere, and it's a ghost story. Starring a thriller, George C. Scott and Trish Van Devere starring a thriller that challenges the viewer to solve its mystery. It's a haunted house adventure complete with seances, nocturnal grave diggings, ghostly spirits, and an ancient puzzle jealously guarded by a devious man, and that was Academy Award winner Melvin Douglas. And he didn't win the Academy Award for this, he won it for something else. I believe it was for, I don't remember, it doesn't say, but anyway, George C. Scott is splendid as the man who becomes an unwilling instrument of a ghost's revenge and learns to trust no one. It eerily entwines a detective story with a mystery of the supernatural, and The Changeling delivers solid entertainment and a frightening good time. And yes, it is a pretty decently scary little horror film, a little ghost story. There's one scene where George C. Scott is at the bottom of the stairs, and this red ball just goes dump, bump, da bump, da bump, da bump, da bump down the stairs. and there shouldn't be anybody up there to make the ball go bump, bump, bump. If I can repeat that word for word again, I don't know if I can do that. Anyway, yes, that is my, those are my answers for the birth year book tag. All right. Yeah, so I just decided to do this one really impromptu. Well, I guess if I plan to do it, that's not impromptu. But, yeah, I'm not putting as much polish on this one as I do on some of the other ones. There's not even going to be a title card, just the intro card and all that. Anyway, so who do I tag? This thing's been done by so many people. You know what? I'm not going to tag anybody. If you want to do this, consider yourself tagged, okay? Because I would really love to see some other people's answers besides my own. So, yeah, that's going to do it. So, thank you for watching, and take care, and stay scared. Bye-bye.